Good day, gentlemen. My name is An, and I am back with another Damascus video. And for today's story, I'm going to tell you about that time I did Wushu for 2 years, or better known as Kung Fu. So for my fellow weeps out there, yes, this is going to be a recap episode of the training arc, of some sorts. But before we can get into any of that, here's some backstory. Oh, and spoiler alert, there is no tournament arc. So, back in 5th grade, I used to get into fights with the other kids at the bus stop, and as a smaller, awkward kid who didn't know anybody and didn't get out much, I got my ass beat. In hindsight, I'd hardly call them fights, because it was just wrestling and pushing, the same two guys taking turns. No striking, fortunately. A lot of times, my little sister would have to step in to break it up, because no one would hit a little girl. So eventually the schools found out, and all of her parents did. And well, no one was happy. And so my dad signed me and my little sisters up for Wushu class. I kicked some ass, got the girl, and lived happily ever after. Well, not really. I got enrolled into an all-Vietnamese Wushu class, and everybody already knew each other from Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. At first I was kinda worried because I suck at speaking Vietnamese. Luckily for me, everyone was young and could speak English, so I managed to get along with a few of them. Like any other traditional martial art, we had to wear the traditional uniforms, but ours were brown. And unlike the other traditional martial arts, we didn't have belts. We had to put on stripes, so no white belt or black belt. You'd start out with a blank brown belt, then you get a green stripe, then a second, and a third, and a fourth. Then you get another belt, and you start again, but with yellow stripes. Then red. I don't know if there's a rank above red. There was only one guy that got red stripes, and he went off to join the military. If you wanted to rank up, you had to take a test, and those only happened twice a year. Okay, I'm gonna be upfront. I don't want to say that it was a McDojo, but I don't think I learned that much. Like, I didn't actually learn how to fight. It was mostly just stretching, forms, rolling. Not like the kind of rolling that you see in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but literal rolling. Well, on the plus side, I got pretty good at doing push-ups and got pretty flexible. Not flexible enough to do the splits, but enough to kick above my height. Easily my favorite part of class was the sparring, but that only happened like once every couple months or so. It was kind of like Kyokushin, but with protective gear, so you couldn't actually hurt each other. No strikes to the head, no ground fighting. Techniques from other martial arts were heavily discouraged. What I found strange was that since everybody already knew each other from outside of class, no one felt comfortable hitting each other, even with the gear on. A lot of times they'd start off slow, and sometimes they'd mutually agree to not kick each other. At least not until the master started scolding them and tell them to, hey, start kicking. Me? I didn't have a problem. I just wanted to fight. As long as it was in my weight class, I'd be down to square up. I remember one time I fractured my hand in sparring because I gassed out trying to hit a guy through the armor as hard as I could. But then I got sloppy and he kept spamming the same block over and over again. I adjusted by changing the timing and hitting him in the wrist, but then I hit him in the elbow. And well, it sucked having to write notes after that. I remember having to learn the tiger dance for an upcoming celebration and performance on Lunar New Year. To be honest, I didn't know what I was doing half the time, and ultimately bailed. And so, when it came time to test for my second green stripe, I got called out in front of everyone and scolded by the master. I got asked if I should be deducted my points or if I should have them spared because he and my dad were friends. I said no, and I was willing to own up to it. But regardless, I still passed. And a few months after that, I just stopped going to class because Dad was busy with work. And that's it. If you have a similar story, or If there's a weapon that you want me to use, please comment below. My name is On, and I'm off.